you ever been let down, disappointed, betrayed by someone you trusted? A close friend, a family member, you name it. It's hard. It's hard when someone you share so much of your self to takes that and uses it against you. And that's what happens in our reading today of Holy Week. It's John 13 when Jesus is sitting around the meal with his disciples, and that's when he announces that one of them is going to betray him. We find out later it's Judas. But Jesus, before he said so, it says that he was troubled in his spirit. He knew what was going to happen. He knew he had to die. And it's one of those things where you know you've got to do it. You just got to rip that Band-Aid off. You know it's killing you. And he had kept it in so long, and he just had to blurt it out. And he just troubled the disciples. And they all wondered, well, who in the world could it be? Could it be me? Could I possibly betray you? It was probably what was on Peter's mind. The passage says that he motioned to John, who was leaning next to Jesus, says, ask him who it is. And he says, it's the one who I give the bread to. And he dips, and it turned out to be Judas. But I want you to, it's a horrible thing to think about that Judas would do that. Judas, who was one of the 12, Judas who had gone with Jesus, sat at his teaching and listened to him, and was even among the disciples who were allowed to heal the sick and cast out demons. We know that he had tasted all of that, and yet he betrayed the Savior for 30 pieces of silver. He went out immediately, and it was night. John paints that picture for us. This is the darkest hour. Really it is. Everything has darkened. Remember yesterday I told you how Jesus says, walk while you have the light. And Judas had every opportunity to walk while he had the light, yet he went out immediately, and it was night. He chose the night. He chose the darkness. And under any normal circumstance, this would be a terrible ending, a horrible ending. It would be the most tragic story. But yet after all this, Jesus says, now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. Isn't it great? And you know this to be true. Isn't it great? When things are darkest, that's when God can shine brightest in your life. When things are darkest, God can shine brightest in your life. And so, do these days feel dark to you? Do you feel betrayed by, the world? Do you feel betrayed by your government? Do you feel betrayed by God? Well, we know it's not his betrayal. We know there are dark forces trying to keep us down. Dark forces trying to make you give up hope. It seems so bleak. It seems like the sun will never shine again in your heart. But let me tell you this. Take that darkness. Don't be like Judas. Don't let the darkness swallow you up. Don't be overwhelmed by it. But look for God to be glorified in the situation. Watch for his light. Watch for him to shine in your heart, in this world. Be hopeful.